So we will see in this section how to create a navigation system using iframes. An iframe is a special window allowing to split an HTML page to display the content of another HTML page. So I've here a menu on the left of the window here, and here I've got here an iframe that I made invisible. So if I click on one item of our menu here, the corresponding page appears within the iframe. And so if the content of the page is too large here, so the scrolling automatically appeared, allowing to scroll the content of my page. So how to realize this using Dreamweaver? So first you have the content of our page done, as here for home, page 1, page 2 and page 3. Okay, and then I will create a new HTML page in charge of receiving my menu and my iframe. So I click on the file menu here, new, blank page, HTML, and known as layout, and I press create. Okay, so can click on design display here. Well, so in this blank page I will first link my style sheet so that the presentation stay consistent. So using CSS style tab here and the link icon, then browse to choose the required style sheet. For instance, here I can choose here, and it's this one for me. Then I press OK, and twice OK here because I want to link it. Then OK. Okay, so you can see that the style sheet applied. So I will now write the different items of my menu. So I write them vertically, but I can, or I could write them horizontally as well. So page 2 and page 3. So now I must set my iframe. So the problem is that I want that my iframe is positioned at a specific place on my page. So to do this task, so I will start by creating an apdiv tag. So I click here on the insert menu, then object layout and apdiv tag here. So my tag appeared, and I will position and resize the tag. So with mouse, or better, so you can see in the properties window here, and you can fill the correct size for the width and the height of the tag. So for instance, I would like that my tag has a 600 pixel width and here 400 pixel height. Okay, well, so you can see that my iframe resized from himself. So I write these dimensions on the paper because I will need these dimensions after. So now my AP div tag is well positioned and has the right dimensions. So I click within the tag here, and you can see here a small yellow blinking, and I will insert here my iframe. So I go to the insert menu and choose the HTML option, and here the sub option frames, and at the penultimate position here, so you can choose the iframe option. Okay, so my screen switched automatically in two parts: a code display here in the top of my screen, so in the middle the design display here, and at the bottom here, of course, the properties window. Okay. So here I can click here after the E of the iframe in the code display, then space, and I will set up here all the parameters, because Dreamweaver is not able to propose me a menu allowing to set up the parameters on my iframe. So I will must that I code myself, so in HTML. So to do this, I will click here, as I said, after the E of the iframe, and I will indicate the different required parameters. So the order in which you insert these parameters doesn't matter. So I write here est letter for, and I choose here src. I double click here. This property allow me to indicate which is the page that I want as default page in my iframe. So I can click here on browse, and I will choose here the home HTML page. Then I click OK. Well, then after the quote, space, and I will enter here the dimensions of my iframe. So for the width of my iframe, so I typing the W and choose here width. So remember, I wrote on the paper the exact dimensions of my frame. So here I will enter 600 pixels width, and then after the quote, space, and now I'll enter the height here, and this was a 500 pixel height window. Then after the quote here, I will insert a space and indicate that my iframe must be or must have a transparent background, so that I can have this background color here in my frame even if it's empty. So I choose the property allow transparency here with the value 0. Okay. Then after the quote, enter space, and now I will indicate that I don't wish to have borders around my iframe. To do this, I double click on the property border frame or frame border, and I will set this option to 0. So this will give me visually the effect of a full page without frames and without hole. So I think that all is well done here. So we'll set up the different links, but before I have to add another property so that my links can point not only to the page I want, but also I want this page opens within my iframe. So to do this, I must name this iframe so that space, and I will insert here the name of my iframe here, and as name I enter something very original like main. So be careful because here it's case sensitive. Okay. So I go back to my frame and here, and I select here my different links I want to create. So first I select home here. So in the properties window and link box, so I select here browse, and I select here my home page. Then I press OK twice here, and as target here I enter manually the name of my iframe. Okay. Then I can select here the second one as the same. Here I choose here page 1. Okay. And as a target, so I click here, I enter here main. The same thing for page 2. For page 2 I choose here this link, and I fill here in the target box, and I write here the name main, and I do the same thing for page 3. So here I select page 3, okay, and then here main. Well, so all seems to go as well. So I can save now my work here by the K combination. So Control plus S, for instance, and I give a name here for me. I will give the name menu. Okay. So, and now I can preview the result in my favorite browser. So, for instance, here, preview in Firefox. So, I was wrong. Here. Okay. So, my page appeared with here the default page here, the home page as default here in my home page. So when I click here on the different links, so you can see that the different pages appeared so in my iframe. So you can see that when the content of the page is too long for the dimensions of the iframe, so there is automatically a scrolling here. For instance, here's vertical scrolling, and the same for page page 1. Okay, and if the content of the page is not too long, so then the page appeared normally. So in this video we have seen how to realize a navigation system using iframes.